Hello and welcome to the AEW WrestleDream 2025 preview. I'm Michael Sidgwick, joined by fellow Dudley boy Michael Hamflett to discuss everything that's in store for us on this weekend's pay-per-view. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure to subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, and YouTube for daily wrestling podcasts where we preview and review Raw, SmackDown, the show formerly known as NXT 2.0. Dynamite, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have question and answer time. We have wrestler interviews on occasion, various roundtable discussions, and a roundup of the week complete with a bloody good quiz of chaos on WrestleCulture. Hamflett, without doing too big a state of address of AEW because we did it yesterday, what are your broad thoughts on the build?
It's funny you mention that, Sidge, because I've got some broad thoughts, but I think they're so broad, I'm going to open up to the audience for a second. Yeah, I've checked. It's a shared pulse that we've all got our finger on for a change. The AEW, like the water springing from a fountain in the Dungeon of Doom, is not hot.
It's not hot.
And after the Go Home Dynamite in particular, I was almost encouraged isn't the word, but I found it refreshing that for a change, when we were complaining, we didn't have to do any explaining. The comment sections agree. The wider...
And that's everyone in the world.
Social media circles agree. The ratings and the ticket buying public have agreed for a while, but within conversation, critical analysis, the way we like to digest and discuss a lot of wrestling, there seems to be a bit of unity amongst the AEW critics. And I like that because I think that was a problem that wasn't of AEW's design, but was of this product's design, which is it's so vast and varied, people could find their own individual fault and you could just have 50 individual criticisms from 50 different critics. It's not the case now, is it?
No,
it's like not. There's a fairly unified, this is called, where are the stars? Where's the creativity? We hate this one. Where are their stories? But this pay-per-view and the go-home to it has felt like it has crystallized that for a lot of people at the same time.
It's a fool's errand to try and talk about something being objective, right? I mean, I know the attendances and the ratings are what they are, and that would indicate quite a deep issue, if you like, with AEW, right? But if you want to approach this, or at least attempt to approach this, and again, I'm going to go match by match as quick as possible. I'm not succinct. If you want to approach this on the most objective level you can possibly do, right, to try and reduce, distill, whatever, professional wrestling is a business predicated on promoting stars to the public. As Dave Meltzer has pointed out quite a lot, storytelling, which is a big criticism of AEW, these endless looping sagas that just have no end in sight, often has little to do with it, really. As much as you'd think there's a correlation, and to an extent there obviously is, it's not the biggest thing in the world.
Good stories, it's like help hot stars.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But hot stars can exist without a good story.
Yes, of course. But if you distill pro wrestling down to its core purpose, promoting stars to the public who in turn receive the wrestlers as stars and they want to watch them do, to some degree, whatever. Mm-hmm. You might like the stories ongoing, okay? You might not be bored of the continued adventures of Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. You might, for example, and I discovered this on X yesterday, have enjoyed the cinematic approach taken to the go-home angle for the Mox Darby I Quit. If you look at this roster, how many wrestlers on it have been bigger, felt more important, felt more like stars in the recent or distant past? There's loads of them, maybe even all of them. If you look at the talent Tony Khan has at his disposal, and yes, there are caveats, pancakes, waffles, you know, wrestlers coming back from injury, wrestlers with an uncertain physical condition, that means you can't really, account for what they're going to do long term. But like, at the very least, I should be rooting for Kenny Omega to like get over his physical condition in more smartly worked matches as a big singles player who still might have it, as opposed to the odd cameo in a trios match, because that's all he's capable of doing. Eddie Kingston was considered the heart and soul of AEW. Eddie Kingston was considered as the guy who could bring an end to MJF's world title reign. He's doing nothing. Kenny Omega, a bit more understandable, is doing nothing. Orange Cassidy has headlined pay-per-views before. It doesn't look like... I was going to say it doesn't look like he's capable of doing that right now, but I would have said the exact same thing about Samoa Joe 3.5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So there are several talents in AEW who I don't think have peaked or have declined too much physically, who should be bigger as stars. And that is, for me, almost not definitive proof, but incredibly compelling evidence that Tony Khan is not doing his job as a promoter. I've already talked longer than I'd planned to about the state of AEW. So I'm just going to go match by match.
Yeah.
Does that suit you? We're not going to do the tailgate because I can't remember whoever wins the tailgate matches. They don't really seem to matter. No. And I probably won't even watch. Quite frankly, there is some positivity in this review, but then again, people love the negative stuff you said.
I just think, I don't know if people love negativity about AEW. I think
it's they're accepting of it.
It's one of those. It's a better conversation when we can all sit and like constructively criticize something we'd like to improve, as opposed to just gathering around to take pot shots.
Yeah, if they're funny, it's fine.
Pot shots are funny, and people need to have a better sense of humor about it. However, I think Dynamite, I would recommend the Dynamite review. We had a laugh, because you got to laugh.
You got to laugh.
But I thought, not to blow smoke up our own aces, it was broadly a conversation about a 2-hour wrestling show that failed, and why it failed, and how it failed and stuff. And maybe that's going to overlap to this. But I think like there's a real unity around the constructive criticism.
Yeah, good. Long may it continue. There will be some positivity here. But at this point, with AEW WrestleDream, I'm expecting an 8 out of 10. I'm not expecting a 10. I'm not expecting a 7. I'm expecting an 8, which is almost bad news because it will reinforce to Tony Khan his like fervently held belief that all is well and it was a great night and it'll do a decent number at the box office and at the pay-per-view and at the arena and it'll get acclaim because look at the state of some of these matches. It's kind of impossible not to. And then I think this is what I said, to reiterate. Again, I've talked longer than I planned to. I'm at the acceptance stage of, it's just, this is what it is now. And Tony Khan will have a really well-received pay-per-view on Sunday morning that he'll be very, very happy with. As a result, it will reinforce to him that what he's doing is working or popular, and he'll get his credit and he'll get his praise, he'll get his reward. He'll continue to do what he does because he's just doing it now, and it's just nothing's going to change. And then it's like in 2023, I was really like, come on, let's do this. Let's see the end because it's really in decline, because then boom and bust, we'll get another peak. That's the sadness now. I'm already looking ahead to Wednesday because what's next? Because I'm not really that interested in the outcomes of these matches, even though, yes, the quality of almost all of them will be high. Let's get into the first match at long last. It is, well, I don't know the order, obviously, but this is the order we're going through. Bit of retention, we're going for the most important ones last.
What?
But maybe there's a good one in the middle so you don't skip ahead too far. What? Kyle Fletcher will defend the TNT title against Mark Briscoe, begging certain questions. The question isn't, will the match be good? Because their match at Dynasty was one of my favorite AEW matches all year. They've got this incredible, irresistible chemistry of a young, brash, incredibly physically violent heel who will stop at nothing to continue his rise up the card. But Mark Briscoe is Mark Briscoe. You can hit me as hard as you like. I'm Mark Briscoe, bitch. I will fight back and I'll hit you back harder. And it's all this like, there's an almost uncomfortable element to the physicality when these two get in the ring. And as much as I can't lie and say, Christ, I can't wait for this. We've seen it. It's a really good series, but we've seen it. I think Fletcher will retain. I think that goes without question at this point. But when the match happens, my face will melt and I'll love it. if it's as good as the other encounters, which it should be. I'm actually wondering how much better it can be than the Dynasty match, because if it's even better, then you've got, like, you should be doing way more with Fletcher now. But regardless, you'll be even more undeniable if this is the best match of the series. I hope it is for Fletcher's sake, so he can just go with his credentials to Tony Khan and say, "Kowe, TNT title is beneath me." Sorry, I've got a few more things to say on this. The other thing that I was going to say about this is, what was the plan then for Mark Briscoe, who has defeated cleanly after a long storyline AEW's biggest draw in MJF?
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the Grand Slam number, the quarter hour for the Mystico match.
The quarter hour guy.
His quarter hours. There's a long list of, examples that point to MJF being possibly the biggest star in the company. Mark Briscoe, and a lot of this is just reporting that we've aggregated and that we're discussing now. But Mark Briscoe beat MJF, one of your top heels, if not your top heel, and your biggest draw, one of your biggest draws, if not the biggest. Okay. Dave Meltzer, and he switched on to a certain subject of this story, reported, if I'm not mistaken, feel free to correct me, but I think I'm right here, now that's come to the top of my head, that the plan was for Kenny Omega to work Kyle Fletcher, and that would obviously make all the sense in the world, given that Kyle Fletcher, about 4 or 5 weeks ago, wrote Kenny Omega off TV. 6, whatever it is now. The idea being that they're going to have a match at WrestleDream, but Kenny Omega, as I mentioned, his physical condition it differs from 1 week to the next, one show to the next, and at the minute it's good, not great, and he didn't deem himself up to the task of doing the Kenny Omega match that we all expect. Kenny, change my expectations. Sell your arse off. You're the best in the world at it, I think. I don't need to see this 1-star less version of the great Kenny Omega epic. I want to see a completely different Kenny Omega, not the guy who can do the stuff in short bursts and ultimately meaningless trios matches, but I digress. 2 questions, because we know the match is going to be good and we know Kyle Fletcher's going to win, right? And we've seen it before and it's a bit uninspired, realistically, right? 2 questions. They're kind of rhetorical, but you can answer them. What was the plan for Mark Briscoe after what should have been a genuine statement win, because clearly this feels like the backup plan to Kenny Omega? Question number 1. Question number 2, Mark Briscoe is one of the best promos of the century. He's one of the best baby faces of the century. Okay, see where I'm going with this. He's one of the best promos of the century. He's one of the best baby faces of the century. Why didn't we get Mark Briscoe cutting a in-ring babyface promo that you could just give him a week to, script it out yourself? You're Mark Briscoe. I'm not going to tell you what to do. We've got this big TV segment planned for you. Here's a week to write your promo. You've got X amount of minutes. Convince the people that you're going to win, or what you'll do to win, or why you hate Kyle Fletcher, or whatever, or all of the above. Why didn't we get that, and why did we instead get, I don't know, Claudio Castagnoli versus Roderick Strong, which means nothing?
Because the way Tony Khan books has allowed this program to cool. The Mark Briscoe promos were wrapped in conglomeration bubble wrap, where you enjoy popping it, but it's pretty empty at the end, It's flat at the end. There you go. I didn't expect that to work as well as it did.
Yeah, it worked well.
The conglomeration tags that have simultaneously kind of middled Orange Cassidy and have middled Willow Nightingale, that have at times middled Mark Briscoe in spite of factors, have done it again and have ultimately meant that all of that feels lower stakes. That gets moved to Collision, which cools the rivalry overall, because whether AEW like it or not, or whether Tony Khan wishes to admit it, there is a hierarchy. And, there should be a hierarchy. It's okay to have an A show and a B show. But the structure, thus, has meant that this doesn't feel anywhere near as hot as it even did when, and this is where that plan, I want to sort of fold this in to your first question there. Mark Briscoe called out Kyle Fletcher as the TNT champion immediately after defeating MJF. Remember that? He said, right, I've done that. I've finally...
Yeah, I've been building it.
So I want my TNT title shot. And
so why do the Kenny thing then?
So when was that going to... This is what I'm saying. When was that going to happen? Was that going to be a TV thing to build to Kenny getting the shot of the pay-per-view? Probably. And Kenny can't, so he's like, well, I'll tell you what then, we'll elevate Briscoe to the pay-per-view, which might explain why it's been scaled back on television, because it was Tony Khan's plan B, and he just doesn't love it as much as he would have loved Kenny and Kyle. Could that be an explanation for all of this?
I don't know.
Like,
maybe this Kenny thing's way more of a booking headache than...
But the problem is that if you lift Kenny out of the match and you put in...
Don't let it happen again.
And you put in Briscoe in, you should still be able to look at that on its own terms and be like, oh, well, luckily I've got this other big star and these are 2 stars.
And Mark Briscoe has just beaten MJF, your top heel/draw.
Tony Khan's spreadsheet brain can't look at that as anything more than a replacement match, so he just doesn't love it as much. You know?
Yeah.
What he loved was Kenny and Kyle, and that got lost. I'm speculating, by the way. And if Mark Briscoe's taking the place, he's like, well, it wasn't my initial plan, but we'll wedge it in with the conglomeration and the Don Callis family and Collision and all that sort of stuff. But that's not looking at who these 2 men are. Yes, the program might not be what you wanted, but look at who's in it. Look at Mark Briscoe. The looping Mark Briscoe complaints paradox of guy that remains over in spite of defeats / not getting the attention that he deserves, but because he stays over, continues to not get the attention. It's this
he's beaten MJF in one of the longest AEW programs of the year.
He went over Ricochet in very similar circumstances in another class match where he prevails after really suffering for it, you know? Yeah. Like, this is a pattern. If you were able to
what if they give him the TNT title?
Well, this is it. I'm not so sure this is as predictable as you think, but it does feel like if this was a different promotion, Briscoe's on a trajectory, but he's the one guy that you always think, it's fine, they can beat him when the lights are brightest. And you shouldn't, because the big wins have actually stacked up for Mark Briscoe, but he loses so frequently in the stuff that doesn't matter as much. Like this, for example. If he loses here, you're just like, oh yeah, the ceiling's always lower. But what if it's not? What if these big wins have been in service of something and finally, Tony Khan's listened and he's gone, right, people are actually asking for more Mark Briscoe than I'm giving them. Here you go. And we don't, it's right in front of our faces and we don't see it. And Fletcher losing the TNT title isn't the worst thing because it's a loss upwards for him. He's not going anywhere in terms of the main event picture. He'll go into the C2 probably, have some bangers in December. Goes into 2026 with decent momentum. He'll be one of those guys, we'll be doing podcasts. Whose year is it? Well, it best be Kyle Fletcher's, otherwise someone effed up real bad. Yeah. Maybe Briscoe wins. And maybe this is he really signals intentions after beating MJF, and it was this belt. It's just the booking has fooled us into thinking it's meaningless.
And the booking fooled me into thinking, if the plan all along, and Meltzer's got it wrong and whatever, was, Kenny has to be written off. We'll just get one of the family members to do it because Kenny's in this endless... How does that feud end, by the way?
Kenny and Kyle?
No, Kenny in the Don Callis family. Seriously, how does that actually end? Maybe against Okada, but then again, Okada's about to work to Takeshita, and now they could maybe do it at the same time. But what's the end game? Because you can see, most wrestling stories have an end game. A lot of them fizzle out, but you can see what the point is. Cody winning the title, CM Punk finally proving to Seth, you know what? I've been around for a long time now back in WWE. You're an idiot. That's a crap story, but here's what I'm telling you the end game is. CM Punk wins. Right, I've finally got this idiot off my back. I'm here for the long haul, so much so that I'm going to be the champion, whatever. I just don't know how this Kenny stuff with Don Callis ends.
It's our complaint with the Elite thing, isn't it? The Elite don't necessarily believe in bottom line full stop in a story because it's always something that means things.
You can always reboot it again.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is a different conversation.
Do you
want to do a casty bet?
No, because I'm probably just doing that thing where I'm trying to summon a bit more.
It's kind of worked.
Because you're not wrong in the assessment of the quality of this match, but I've seen it.
I've seen it. I can't get too excited.
I think they've got the same in them, and that same is great. But I've seen it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And it's and fairly. I've got to be fair. I don't want to be biased. I've seen Seth and Cody as well, and I was going into that pay-per-view really excited about it. But it's the gap. It's
the Fed as well.
You're a mark. And it's the Fed too. But I feel like You mentioned
at least you're a self-professed mark who treats it like a sports team.
Yeah, I do. I've spent a lot of my life supporting a losing one, so in this game, it's nice to support a winning one. When you said it was Dynasty, I thought it was sooner than that. Like, I thought it was like within the last few months. Like, Dynasty was April.
No, it's been an ongoing thing. I think they had a match in the C2 last year as well. I'm fairly convinced they did, actually.
It feels fresher in my mind than April, which is a million years ago in wrestling terms.
I just think if you look at every permutation, maybe it's the mood I'm in, but if you look at every permutation of what's gone on and whatever, there's like, I've got a fault with every bit of thing.
One more question on this then. To that point, if Briscoe wins, are you going, oh, right, that's his level then? Because you don't respect the TNT title? Are you like, good, babyface validation? And
I'll wait and see.
Right.
Because if he does win, it'll be a great moment.
Mm-hmm.
Genuinely. It's just one of those where it's like, if the plan all along was this, like, don't tease me with a Kenny Kyle match because they've only had one and it was pre-shaven headed Kyle Fletcher. And then that just Briscoe looks lesser than. Just have another family member beat up at me. I don't know. Man.
I tell you what as well, maybe it doesn't help if he wins the TNT title, but there is a little thread of unfinished all babyface business between Mark Briscoe and Hangman Page, which I would love them to explore.
Yeah.
I really wanted Briscoe to...
Because Hangman was saying you get a title shot at some point or whatever.
When he was in the MJF thing, and I quite wanted Briscoe to beat MJF and surprise us all and have the booking like swerve us a bit. It's there. Like, one of these days is a really cool babyface battle for the proper title.
We shall see. The next match is going to be a wrestling match to the core because it's Jamie Hayter versus Thekla. We take the piss out of Thekla, but we also think she's quite fantastic.
Yeah.
This is weird. It's nice, and it's really cool that there is a women's match not fought over a title booked for this pay-per-view. That's great progress. I've got no doubts about the match quality. I expect Thekla to win purely because the idea is, oh my God, who can stop those heels? Nobody. Oh, well, get a cage lowered down and they've got nowhere to run. It's wrestling 101.
Spider up the walls. Didn't even think about that. Toxic Spider, she can like climb up walls and then like be looking upside down. Remember like Shelton Benjamin used to do in the Elimination Chamber?
Yeah. That was a big... because it's inside baseball. In the downstairs Jen's toilet, there's a big spider that we're all... There's a big spider on the ceiling that we're all scared of catching. It's quite high up. You'd have to like get a ladder in that. Or nicknamed it Thekla.
It's not toxic. We don't think.
Well, we don't know.
It could be toxic to the core. I just thought about Thekla there doing the spider pose, but off the side of a cage. Might be pretty cool.
Yeah. If you like. This match will be... I just wish Thekla and Aminata got the pay-per-view match.
Yeah, same.
I really wish they did.
That was the proper one, wasn't it?
That was the proper one. It really would... Like, they earned the hell out of that story, but apparently it was meant to be Hayter Thekla, but then Aminata was deputizing for Hayter throughout what became the Thekla Aminata program. So this feels like back to the drawing board. Yet again, I'm going to do it. Can't stop me. This should open.
Yeah. Yes.
The point it's not going to, but it should open.
I don't know if she's in your notes, but is old Merksky?
She's in the notes, but later
she could open too, and that would be a really hot opener if what we think might occur. And
it's not an open challenge though. I think you'll get that near the end. Yeah. Hence why I put it in the notes near the end. I'll try to guess the card order, if you like.
I do like.
I've gone through it. So who's winning?
Thekla.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's blood and guts build, and that's fine as well. Yeah. Like that's it. This is match to build a match, but sometimes that's all right. I think that's happening with the other women's match, so I think it's decent overlap.
Yeah.
The heels here dominating Jamie Hayter. Like, it's Hayter that's put out the challenge for blood and guts. And the heels have... I can't remember I don't think they answered it in that collision call-out, but Thekla has said, well, I'm going to beat you up, Jamie Hayter. So when she beats Jamie with the help of the gang, Hayter having friends that come and help her in the post-match beatdown or in the follow-up where she's been beaten down and they're toxicing on the ramp. They're being triangular and mad on the ramp. And then Jamie gets the microphone and she says, you never answered my challenge for a few weeks ago. Are we doing this or what? Blood and guts. And they're like, well, yes.
Yeah.
Three of us, piss easy.
Yeah.
It's like, I've got friends. Yeah, whatever. this is that, innit?
Yeah.
This is that. Like, there's more of us than there is of you. That's what you think. See you in the cage.
Yeah.
It's fine. Like, I sound like I'm taking the piss.
This is his bread and butter.
This is, yeah.
And this man loves bread and butter, bro.
I love bread and butter. I sometimes don't even need butter. Like, this is what you do. This is booking. I wasn't going to say good or bad. This is booking.
This is booking.
I like booking.
Indeed. Like, look, I'm not the biggest fan of Thekla doing promos and doing acting, but the intent behind everything she does. Haterade clothesline. You know that crunch. It's a thing of a football podcast. Crunch. But smack her with it. That's when she can go into the spider pose as a reversal. And then like
Hayter just drops like a massive elbow on her or something as she's made spider.
But Hayter does this really cool thing when she throws something that she's going to miss. Like a momentum will carry her forward. So when she's like, what's going on? She's like, oh, that's what's going on. A massive spider.
Yeah. I love it.
So if they get the timing right on that spot, which they should do now that I've said it, then I'll be good. Third match. Oh. He at least says a stip. Because after, I don't want to watch MVP selling in the ring for 10 minutes. Love how, that was on me. Did lose, guys, sorry. I am going to be the hardest guy on the outside with my cane a couple of weeks later, though. Basically, it's the Hurt Syndicate versus The Demand in a tornado tag. So it's been stepped up. Yeah. And I like this because Tona Leona, and Bobby Lashley can rampage around the building doing their like ridiculously good chemistry, but they'll be sort of like, it's one of those where if it like all go in different areas and Ricochet and MVP pair off and Benjamin and Quan pair off, and then Lashley and let's leave the camera on them, if anything. I wonder if this has happened specifically because the street fight in dailies was like so it's a bit awkward, but there's not much space to just, I'll help you lift me up and go through a table or whatever. That felt like, you know, when they call it like this violence cannot be contained. It must go in a street fight. Yeah. The physical environment of which contains it quite badly.
It was bad agenting because it was the same night as Darby and the Molotov cocktail. And you knew that like, that I had a conversation backstage and it was like, well, we need the environment. And we're like, we're in a six-person street fight. You can't keep us in the ring.
Yeah, and then they did. Yeah. So this at least will have the benefit of sprawling everywhere. Like, I was excited for that match, and it was kind of good at points in spite of itself, but you could tell they were very much hampered by this very constricted physical landscape that they were wrestling in.
The finish ruled.
The finish ruled. I need to see the finish again. I need to see Ricochet do that exact bump that he took on the most recent Dynamite. Yeah. It was incredible. Do that through a table if you want.
Yeah.
The thing about this match, right, if you look at the Shelton Benjamin Ricochet thrust knee bump, that incredible singles match between Lashley and Leona, like the fact that now they've got kind of the entire arena floor and maybe some stairs to play with, it's you could say this for a lot of Hurt Syndicate matches though, where like they're like almost definitionally uneven. I don't think I would describe a single one of them as great. A single one of them is like troubling match of the year charts. Really, I did love that Private Party title win a great deal. There's always something where like, I go, that was tits. NWO's the tits, brother. The Hurt Syndicate are the tits, brother. And then I'm kind of bored for 2 minutes. This surely is the stipulation that can set them free.
Yeah, I'm going to say something nice about the Hurt Syndicate. I think that...
Who's winning?
Well, probably the Hurt Syndicate.
We're getting a debut here. That's the talk.
Oh, wait, is it?
Well, do your job and find out what people are talking about. Cedric Alexander.
Oh, I'm honestly
fairly certain I read... I'm second-guessing myself now, but I'm fairly certain I read that his contract has expired.
That makes sense.
And, you know...
Yeah. Give the baby faces the one-man advantage. That's how that works. Like,
how the baby faces are heels.
Well, another reason I love them. No, I'm going to give the Hurt Syndicate a tiny bit of credit here. It's
gone from say something nice to tiny bit of credit.
This Fuad just droning on has actually maybe by virtue of exposure, help the demand, has helped. Like, if you think of them as the revealed masked assailants at Forbidden Dow to where we are now.
No TV fixture.
Yeah, they're present. You used to say this about Kyle Fletcher. The trick is for him to break into that pay-per-view whiteboard marker pen list. Well, he can't be in the tailgate crew.
Yeah.
Got to be on the pay-per-view. They've done it. And that's to the Hurt Syndicate's credit, because the Hurt Syndicate evidently like working with them. They don't like working with many people, and they seem to like working with these. And it's meant that they've been on television every week. They've been focused upon characters. Match quality has been really hit and miss. But it's peaked, like quite high. Doesn't mean I want this one, but I look at the demand as an act and think, you know what, fair enough. Like, they're going to be more over than when they started. So, like, thanks, I guess, the Hurt Syndicate, sort of. They'll win. The Hurt Syndicate will win. And I don't say that with any joy, because I'm just constantly fantasy booking a division that I don't like in the AEW men's one. And I mentioned this on the Dynamite review. I think Ricochet is perfect for a Hangman Page feud. Absolutely perfect. And you've kind of got a bigger job on if you're doing it off the back of a, like, big defeat.
Yeah.
If they lose this match, they have lost this feud comprehensively. What would it be, like 3-1 or something?
Yeah.
They've lost. They're the losers of this program. But I would love Ricochet to lose upwards off the back of this. And they're creating a bit of work for themselves. But if the Cedric thing's true, and if everything we know about the Hurt Syndicate is true.
It's just fan casting, I think.
Yeah, but
not heard any like firm reports.
But, you know, it is also the Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah.
And it's hard to imagine them leaving a program as the losers.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
You know,
Forever.
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 Forever. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Honestly,
I'm glad
I'm being
you're a bit more
optimistic,
hyped for it.
baby.
Yeah.
I think the best version of this match might unlock the Hurt Syndicate's awesomeness.
Yeah, I hope so.
I goddamn said it, right? So that's 3 for 3 in good matches. There'll be good matches. That's what everyone wants and isn't bored of, good matches. Get up and deep and up and under. I mean, a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from? Brodido versus Kazuchika Okada and Konosuke Takeshita for the World Tag Team titles. This is the match on the show I'm most looking forward to. Okada, as bone idle and as lazy as he's been throughout this AEW run, has like wrestled 2 absolutely incredible matches against Speedball Mike Bailey and Takeshita and Mascara Dorado, right?
Yep.
So he's as good once as he ever was. Kazuchika Okada. Takeshita is, spoiler alert, your recently crowned IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. Whatever. Don't watch it anymore. I wish. Why can't there be one completely great, accessible, dominant, artistic pro wrestling promotion? Come on, New Japan, I need you. Need you more than ever. By the way, similar rules apply. What are you going to do?
I just had an answer to your question, but doesn't matter.
No, tell us. What's the answer to your question? Oh, such a complete dick, honestly. I want to say something else there.
I thought, recognize symbol, sports entertainment came to mind, but we'll move on. You were asking something. I was about to answer you with it.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty cool watching Okada looking at Takeshita with that belt around his waist.
Yes, that's going to be
pretty cool.
Him sort of like, will he pretend he's not bothered?
Yeah. Yeah, because he's got his own belt. It's like, that's better if anything.
Yeah.
And it's not, and he knows that.
Yeah. So if they should have recapped it, video package at least as something on Dynamite. Maybe they'd like dedicated 40 minutes to one Collision. I wouldn't know.
No, they needed to get the Don Callis family over.
Yeah.
In a bit,
yeah. So Brodido might lose or in danger of losing because Bandido, in that weird wrestling serendipity where a bad thing has happened to him, good for me though and good for the drama, has he injured his shoulder prior to this match being booked. And keep the tape on even if you're 100%.
Yeah.
Tell me that he isn't healed because I'm banking on this match being the thing I'm really looking forward to the most. Match quality out the ass. And I got sidetracked by Arsehole Jones over here. But I was going to say was Okada is as good once as he ever was. Okay. And he's got additional bodies to do a lot of the work for him. I will say there was a few fluffed notes on the match that they had on Dynamite at Daly's, which built this rematch.
Yeah. I've only got happy memories of it, though.
Okada's timing was not, like, it was bizarre watching Okada's timing be as off as it was.
Yeah. To be honest, I was waving it away because I was really invested in Brodido.
That's the thing. Yeah. So, Bandido has got a shoulder injury,
and confidence issues with it.
Yeah, really confidence issues with it, and he feels like he's let Brody King down and pretend that he's still injured, even if he's healed. Okada and Takeshita, meanwhile, are having this wonderful pissing contest. Who's got the biggest dick? Who's the biggest star? Okada, quite clearly in his body language and mannerisms, has thought, well, I'm in the Don Callis family because, I'm number one. And Takeshita's like, no, nope, I am. And I love this idea of Okada, so they've done some rare good use outside of Forbidden Door, which is always, fun or sometimes great, of like the promotional partnership now, where because Okada has, won countless G1s and a C2, but now Takeshita won the G1. So I know he could be the best tournament wrestler in the world, and Okada's like, the same bitch. So that they're drawing through across New Japan and All Elite Wrestling. They are drawing parallels between Takeshita and Okada, which he will not like because in his mind he still is, but for several years he actually was one of one, like the longest reigning champion, like the king of the Tokyo Dome, the undisputed ace, like the biggest star of the 21st century in Japanese pro wrestling and all the rest of it. And now that there's someone who's younger on his tail, getting all this acclaim, and now he's getting gold and tournament wins, and he's just like, oh, you can't handle it. So I like, and Okada's great. It pretty much everything. It sort of noises when, look, the guy is bumped more than most wrestlers working today. Can you not just let him be a great character, please?
Yeah.
I like him like this. He is so good at being aloof, kind of unbalanced.
It's different on the show as well.
Dick for the sake of being a dick. It's a bit of difference. I like the idea of Takeshita's running wild in the ring, and he's just like, yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
Just with that face of his, he's great. But because
David Brenton Neal,
yeah,
bit rich.
Yeah, a bit rich.
I prefer a money clip.
I prefer a money clip. I prefer a flat. I prefer a. I prefer a Rainmaker. So he does this, that incredible, crunchy wheelbarrow German thing that he's going to do to Brody King. Remember that match on Dynamite when I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. That's inhuman what he's just done there. Okada grabs the mic. I prefer a flan. Anyway.
That's it. We've booked it.
But, so, Bandido, physically banged up. That could be their out for losing. Takeshita and Okada, so volatile as a relationship that they could just simply blow up, cost one another the chance of winning, get rolled up, lose or whatever, scuffle ensues, and they're on the outs. I'm going to be hanging on to every second of this, and that's very rare. I want to be hypnotized by this. This is the one sort of phone-proof match on the show for me personally. There's a couple more, maybe one or two more. But this is I just love Okada's goddamn face. Any excuse to look at Kazuchika Okada, episodic TV character's face that I genuinely love. So I'm really looking forward to this one. I don't know who wins.
No.
I like Okada reacting to Takeshita, and I find it so amusing how much he's blatantly gotten to and jealous and defensive and all the rest of it. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. We don't have to hear from him anymore. What a shame. Back to, me, the main event. Kind of want to see it. Can they coexist partnership when they've got the gold? And Brodido have got a ceiling. Maybe they can still do the Macarena spot at some point, but I'd rather see that there's something cool and great with this Takeshita Okada stuff. And I'm not being funny. That bump that Okada took for the Blue Thunder Bomb at All Out was something special. The match is going to be great. You pretty much saw it at All Out. Delay it for as long as possible. Have me enjoy Okada being a dickhead for as long as possible, because here's the goddamn thing. The longer they tell you, oh, it ain't happening yet, I'm like, well, I want it to happen. I want to delight in it not happening, because That's kind of what wrestling TV is.
Anticipation.
Yeah.
Remember that. I love this. Favorite thing on the show by miles and miles and miles. And a credit, the Brodido run, full stop, a credit to the tag division and the booking of it this year. And you don't really say that much in AEW generally unless the belts are circling the Young Bucks. So all the more credit to them. I'm the same as you. I can't pick a winner because I like both outcomes. But I do think there is guts to strapping up Takeshita and Okada here, because it would show that you understand sometimes when to get off with an act that are hot like Brodido. There's this temptation with wrestling.
No one's hot.
Hmm?
No one's hot.
No one's hot, but Brodido are over as champions.
Yeah.
And when not a lot is really simmering, there's this idea we're that's all right, can we keep that where it is, please, because people like that and people support it. But historically you want to get off early, don't you? You want did you not realize that was the peak? Because it was actually, and you kind of buy low, sell high kind of thing. You'd be selling at the highest point in terms of Brodido's stock. You could, I'm not saying you split them up and have them feud, but it's like your point. You've got the Macarena still to build. You've got the C2, of which both of them would, in their own way, be able to tell a pretty cool story.
And if they wrestle each other,
we bring a brilliant tag team, but we're both in the same block in the C2. So that's going to be the last match of the block. And haven't we been great? But now we've got to compete. You know, there's lots of ways to keep Brodido over
and busy
without having the belts. If you're able to park the sentiment behind them. Simultaneously, as you say, the tag team title, can they coexist, competitiveness would get you weeks of TV and good matches, by the way. God forbid we don't have good matches on Dynamite, but you would get loads of them. You'd really loads of them out of these two as tag team champions, tons. It'd look more like a division by default because they could defend them every week.
Yeah.
You know, who's going to stop these two? Nobody. It's not for that. It's for
imagine the Brothers of Destruction if they were good.
Yeah. You hire them on telly every week. They always win, but you kind of, you find their competitive tension kind of intoxicating. They're kicking ass.
It's like the inverse of Omega Page, where you kind of want them to feud and you kind of expect them to feud, but when they get on, it's kind of nice and exhilarating. With Okada and Takeshita, you're like, oh, God, this is great.
And what I was thinking of the other day was that, and this would be basically a delayed Christmas present from AEW, gift wrapped, if they're thinking Takeshita defending the IWGP title against Okada at Wrestle Kingdom, and that's Tony Khan saying, "We've built this on television, but it's your champion. Have the match."
I've heard.
And Okada returns to the Dome, and it's can he beat Takeshita, and that's the payoff destination. Or they become tag team champions, and it's everything's great. Takeshita's I got big news. You know, Okada, how I'm the IWGP champion? I've got to pop to Japan, January 4th, Wrestle Kingdom. Remember it? And I'm taking on Tanahashi in his last match for the IWGP title. And he beats Tanner at the Dome, and it's Tanner's last night. And Okada's you're joking me. They're toasting him beating
Stop
Tanner.
trying to copy me.
Yeah, you do. It's my life. Give me back my life. My tag team partner and champion friend. That could be just as good, couldn't it?
There's something building here that I want to be good.
And that'd get them at Revolution.
Aye.
That'd get them back in AEW to Revolution, regardless of if Takeshita's held that title or not. I think I want them to win. There is a story where Takeshita puts in this all-timer, sod it, I'm going to be a babyface tonight and work my bloody hardest, and then Okada's the one that gets rolled up by Brodido or something. Brodido winning, dripping in sweat. Are you kidding?
You're joking.
Okada's doing the wrestling body language version of "I pressed the wrong button, bitch."
Yeah.
Shrugs. I'm oh well.
Oh well.
But I think I'm going to go with Takeshita and Okada.
I
love this. You can tell. This is the difference.
This is the difference.
You're not supposed to think just of this match. It's where does everybody go? Where did they come from? Where did they go? It's got all that sort of permutation stuff that I like, and actually really good character work as well. And I love it.
And we should mention phenomenal professional wrestling.
Yeah, and there's evidence to support that as well.
Yeah, hopefully it's better than the first match, which is kind of just good. Almost at the halfway point, we'll discuss next a $500,000 cash prize match. It's between the Young Bucks and Jurassic Express. Look, Young Bucks and Jurassic Express. I don't know if I point this out right, but there was a match in summer of 2021. When there was so much elite involvement. And the Jurassic Express got screwed. I'm fairly certain Luchasaurus had a destroyer on Nick Jackson. I'm like, this is like absolute, pure Dynamite, quintessential feeling before they had to say the word feeling.
Wasn't it a myth, though, the summer of
point,
2021? No, I've heard it was a lie, actually. Twitter reckons it wasn't real.
That match is better than all but 2 TV matches have done this year. Go and listen to that audience. You are seeing them. AEW's, we're here now. Like, there's been some great moments, but this is it. We're going to beat Raw. And there was such dickheads, the Bucks, in this match. July 2021, I think it was. Or August, whatever. One of the two. Where that was the one where it was like, you're in a cage against the Lucha Bros. You've taken this too far. You've just taken this all too far. If they can harness that energy, this could steal a show, legitimately. That match is so goddamn great. And it's not the first one, of course, that they've had with Jurassic Express. They've had like a long, rich history and tradition of working all their friends all the time, constantly, ceaselessly. But they have good matches with their friends, so that's one thing. The match will be good. I don't necessarily know who wins. Maybe Jurassic Express.
What's the deal with the cash?
Well, I feel like the cash, whoever wins is going to get $500,000 in cash. Maybe Jurassic Express win. It's their first major match. But then, Cassidy, Kingston, maybe just doesn't get that when you bring a star back that people are excited about. You should have the win
like
for a while.
Express, like driving in a fancy car or something.
Yeah.
Like what do you do with those?
You could do sight gags with after they could do a
solid gold dinosaur head.
Yeah, they could do a bit right where Young Bucks are apoplectic that they've lost. Like, God, what the hell are they going to spend this money on? We need it. You got Jack Perry. He's a bum. He lives in the woods. He makes his own stuff. He doesn't buy nothing. The other guy's a dinosaur. And then Luchasaurus, as you say, comes in gold mask. He just gets this taste of the high life. He's rocking up with, in a limo. And, there's
Richosaurus.
Richosaurus. And there's chicks hanging out the back of the hot tub that's built in the back of his limo.
Yes.
And he's got the gold mask. And he's, got, the lowrider effect on it as well.
I love it. Richosaurus, we've done it.
What song could he come out to that's got money in it?
All I can think of is that money one they gave to Trump. So not that. What other song's got money in it?
ABBA.
Yeah. Money. Money for Nothing by Dire Straits. And your chicks for free.
No, there's a verse in there that you absolutely cannot play anymore.
Okay. What else has got Money by Pink Floyd?
Yeah.
With a he has a dinosaur bit, obviously.
Yeah. So you do the backing vocals. Money.
Rah.
Money.
Rah. There you go. We've done that. Nick Jackson could reveal to Matt Jackson 12 hours before the date of this pay-per-view, he'd place a $499,000 bet.
Dollar cream. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bill, y'all.
I mean, Richosaurus is such a good bit. I want that now.
I'm going to be furious if we don't. But I love that. It's just that's money.
Jungle Boy's still just whittling stuff. He really is unbothered by the cash.
Yes, but that means that there's more money for Luchasaurus.
Yes.
Because he's we'll spread it 2 ways. And then Jack Perry's nah, I like making my own stuff in the woods. I'm okay. Don't worry about me.
You are mine.
I don't like material possessions. I'm surprised you, Luchasaurus, is money's going. No. Cash rules everything around me.
Spread it 2 ways.
Dollar bill.
I bought you something.
If, by the way, you've got more songs that you think are...
let us know.
Richosaurus could come... Richosaurus, sorry. Where are my manners? Richosaurus could come out to. Let us know in the comments below or on X at @msidgwick or at Michael Hamflett.
Are we so lost up our own arse with bits if we did them, or is that a legitimately good idea?
I think that's a good
idea. Richosaurus with a big solid gold dinosaur.
Richosaurus rules.
That's not bad business, is it?
That's good. And you get and the Young Bucks are that's just wasted on him. Yeah. And then I don't want to see this loop because if the Young Bucks get rich again, Kenny Omega is going to be feuding. He's going to be feuding with them regardless, isn't he?
Yeah.
So, but maybe, using my more earnest head, even though my facetious head, gold, it's really good. Kenny Omega's You lost everything. You lost your friendship. You lost all your money, which you almost have to lose to make this work. Was it worth it? Should we get the gang back together? It's like, I've lost count. Did we ever?
What are we doing?
Well, I don't actually know what we're doing here.
Did he forgive them for the diverticulitis attack? He did, didn't he?
Did he?
That's the whole point, isn't it? Like,
the whole point is he's a guy in a wrestling promotion who doesn't like revenge. He's a babyface.
Yeah.
Anyway, the match should be great.
Yeah.
And we've just told the story of the afterwards, so please do that. On the copy for the podcast, will you put an even better fantasy booking idea?
We'll keep that going.
Keep
Definitely.
it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not good at it. I'm more analytical than creative, so when we come up with something together, or, by myself, whatever.
Almost like a creative team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Creative services.
Creative services. We'll give them the ideas. Gold Dinosaur Mask, please. You've got half an hour.
I've got a better idea, asshole. How about relentless trios matches every goddamn week? By the way, tell me who won them all? Yeah, reverse chronological order. Go on then. You can't do it, can you? What I do is meaningless. 3 matches left in one segment. Women's world title. This is good.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
What match is going 60 minutes?
Oh.
Unless you just quietly, you have to do it once, and goddamn it, you gotta do it, Tony. Please, Tony. Oh, we should probably go back to 4 hours. No, sorry about all those 5 hours, because it's not sustainable. Very sorry about that. I know it's value for money. Yeah, I'm unhinged. I'm unhinged.
I'm losing it.
So let's just go back to 4. Yeah. For anything, I would quite like it if it was 3.
You got a 3 in there?
Oh, how did that get in there? So, but 8 matches in a Samoa Joe World title match ain't going an hour. No. It ain't 2005 anymore. Christmas. International football tournaments. Bearing in mind this features his favourite wrestler. Thoughts on the CM Punk Samoa Joe trilogy from Ring of Honor?
Mixed. Elements of it I find to be overrated. They themselves, I think, would say that they would say in that kind of like semi-arrogant wrestler way, we didn't know what we were doing back then. The implication is we are geniuses at it now. We are genii. Whenever a wrestler says that, it's because they want to put themselves over today. Yeah. That's what they're doing. Elements of it, timeless brilliance. Like, still, you get a headlock over. It's classic Punk, really, to fixate on a spot and get it over. Getting a headlock over is amazing in that particular period of time. And it contrasted what was happening in a lot of Ring of Honor that people were kind of like throwing eggs at it for, like getting too technical up its own ass for its own sake. And they were like, well, we think there's a compromise here and we're going to make it. And to be absolutely fair to them, like...
I like the youth of it all.
Well, this is it. There's
we can do an hour.
It's a creative explosion of basic ideas.
Yeah.
And I really admire that even now. When you see wrestlers do that now, I think it's almost... restrictions they put on themselves make it good. That it's all of that alike. It's
nakedly fueled by hubris.
Yeah. I've watched them all relatively recently, and they're all a bit baggy, truthfully, except maybe the last one of the 3. But I admire the ambition more than anything, and like the Collision one was but plenty of people in that Wembley match, considering there was 80,000 of us.
Jesus,
loads of us.
Jesus.
Knew the cues, remembered the spots that were missed, remembered the spots that hit. He's putting the hooks in. Like that stuff had resonated enough with quite a lot of people that it still stuck all those years later. So very worthy that series, very worthy.
Will Kris Statlander versus Toni Storm be anywhere near as good though? That's a segue. I don't know how the hell I got on the Punk show.
Do you know what? I've been pretty low on this build and I don't care. Like, I love this match.
Oh, the match will be great.
So happy the match is happening. Statlander is finally, this is not to denigrate Kris Statlander or like the people that are so entrenched in AEW original lore that you almost can't criticize someone like Kris Statlander. But I think it's reasonable to say that you could even see it on Wednesday's promo. Statlander, as great as she is in ring, like the hidden sort of genius at the core of AEW's growth of its women's division is always a Kris Statlander match. Yeah. Always. As a performer, I think she's still in the leveling up stages. Like, as a champion, faking it till she makes it a bit. You know, that like leader, that sort of that, she's got everything. But the matches have always been the secret weapon of this entire division. People get in there with Stat and have one of their best nights. You know, like...
If not their very best.
Yeah, he used to say...
Britt Baker.
About Charlotte Flair and the Horsewomen?
Years ago.
Once upon a time.
Once
Maybe not so
upon a
much
time.
now. But like Stats.
Long time ago.
Stats got that against so many wrestlers.
Britt Baker twice.
Yeah. She did it for Mercedes Moné. I think she was the key.
She unlocked something. She unlocked
Moné.
Moné. She had the best matches Britt Baker will ever have in her entire career, even if she just comes back tomorrow.
Yeah, like I just think that's
Julia Hart.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. The TNT, TBS run,
yeah.
Like meanwhile, Toni Storm has done that and then some by becoming that like divisional ace, and then like maybe not for the women's division, but like one of the breakout stars in AEW history ever.
Yeah,
men or women. It's
sorry, I didn't get a lot of sleep this week. I had a lot of sleepless nights wondering if Kenny Omega and Jack Perry can coexist.
I get it, man.
I'm sorry about that.
I understand. So kind of can't wait for this. The best possible example of good match booking, because I haven't loved the story. I think sometimes I've said this before. Sometimes I kind of think they're pissed with the Toni Storm character in what they think they can get away with and what they can't. And
same.
That's happened here, but the match is too good to fail. Indeed,
I'm really, really looking forward to this. But across this match, in the Hayter versus Thekla match, which I hope they're sequenced a little bit apart. Again, I hope Thekla goes on first to give her a real chance of being over. I know she's over in the buildings, but like, give her the platform. That's what you're meant to do with talent. There is a risk maybe between the pair of them being much of a muchness in terms of they'll be very, very like Statlander's incredibly stiff. Toni Storm is incredibly stiff. Statlander, Storm, and Hayter are like in the very same genre of pro wrestler. They're all very, very, very good at it. Sometimes literally great at it. But you know what you're getting with them. And I worry the matches might be a little bit similar to one another because this represents such a great opportunity. I think the consensus is, and it should be, that AEW has the talent but doesn't have the respect for the women's division. WWE kind of has both at this point. If you're building blood and guts and it isn't just this empty gesture of, all right, okay, well, give the women something. And I know this is pie in the sky stuff, and I feel naive for even saying that out loud, but if these two matches are given the slots to really tear the house down, it's like, Christ, this women's division is great. Look what they did at WrestleDream, and then that breeds anticipation for blood and guts.
Do the Triangle of Madness, once they've won here, do they run at the end and beat them both up? Like Toni Storm and Kris Statlander,
whoever wins, they'll do the handshake at the end, and then the Triangle of Madness come in, and then
Hayter at least got 3-on-3. Then
absolutely.
Because Willow being the last member of the baby faces, because her and Stat, like,
that's not bad.
It's all right, isn't it? Like, and then the teams are pretty well weighted for the match as well.
Statlander should win.
Yes, agree.
Statlander should win this, and I think she will win this.
Yeah,
indeed.
Interesting future for Toni Storm after Blood and Guts, isn't it?
Yes.
She was right in what she said about that, like, when people like close their eyes and think of the women's world title, they think of me.
Yeah.
Great line. Like, there was so much truth in it. I'm really intrigued to see that character operating somewhere else.
I'm not.
Oh.
I think she's so much better. Like, I'm hot and cold on Toni Storm. When she's hot, like, no one pops me more. Like, she's so funny. And, like, it's great to see someone so over, particularly when you are watching on a weekly basis a cool promotion. Toni Storm is so much better. We talk about wrestlers, like, the genius of the Toni Storm character is that people talk a lot about wrestlers being so much better on the chase, and it's so hard to book a title run. The inverse of that is true for me with Toni Storm in that, what time are we on? We've got time left before WrestleCulture.
Yeah, we've got about 7 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, I've just noticed that myself.
Jesus Christ. Well, we're going to take a little bit more time. A little time to think things over. Toni Storm was better when she's vulgar, bawdy, cocky. I'm the queen. I'm on top of Hollywood. And da, 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 da. When she's having complex emotions and is a little bit worried about legacy and stuff, it collides badly with the cartoon character that she plays, quite frankly. So, Mercedes Moné, celebrate good times. Moné
nice
is coming to WrestleDream to celebrate. Angle alarm. It's a new feature here on the WhatCulture Wrestling podcast. I hope you enjoy it. Angle, shut your mouth.
For your corners.
Yeah. Who is it?
Dakota Kai.
Dakota Kai.
Great.
Are there any other major free agents?
I mean, there's some that have already hit the indies.
Like Shotzi
and that.
Yeah,
but
no,
like,
not for me. Not for me, Jeff.
Nah, like Dakota Kai's really
cool. The
cool.
Jericho pathway's now been...
Indeed.
Never work here.
Funny, everybody's on that boat except an entire roster full of wrestlers that he currently works with. What's that about?
Shotzi's on the boat.
Shotzi's on the boat.
They've made up then.
Yeah. She's one of the lead names.
They should do a bit on the boat.
Yeah. Like where he falls
he
through some cardboard.
And then she laughs at him.
Yeah. Well, it's not like he's got any Fed names that he can advertise yet, is it? Give it 6 months.
Yeah, give it 6 months, and they won't let him do it.
Oh, imagine. But
what about Fed on the Bahamas?
I was just going to say Fed on a boat. Fed on a boat, Fed on a boat, Fed on a boat. It looked the same as an arena. Put in the sea. It'd be pretty good.
Dakota Kai.
Good. Like, genuinely good. Kicks her ass. Belts fly everywhere. She is, and this is meant as a complimentary comparison because I know this wrestler had a mixed tenure in AEW the last time. This has got that like Ruby Soho pop about it. Like, people will want, there was like a certain unjustness about Dakota Kai's firing to a lot of people, and she has had the matches at various points in her career. Beloved in some regards, deservedly so. Like, that is enough. That simple. I'm here. I kick your ass. Belts everywhere. You're probably getting to full gear with that one, aren't you?
Yeah.
So, like, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I think she was somewhat overrated towards the end. I know everyone's...
No, I agree with that.
Online, but, like, she had one great match. It was against Lyra.
Lyra for the IC belt.
So she could still do it. It's just, the
injuries got in the way a lot of the time, and you could see that. I don't know. I don't want to speak to anyone, but, like, the confidence...
Her fans love her.
Yeah.
I would bring her in on that basis alone.
Definitely.
And she has got fans who love her. And she's obviously got, I don't know how much she's exhausted it, truthfully, but the potential was always there. I would definitely bring her in. I don't think it's a risk, really. It's not my money. He's a billionaire.
There's one more name. Somebody who was very vocal in their support of All Elite Wrestling and how they would give everything to the brand if they're signed.
Scarlett Bordeaux.
Yeah. She was talking like talks had been had.
It was the worst. If I ever go, I'd want to be there for Toni, I'd want to get married to AEW. It's like, oh, God. I love how the subtext of that comment was, at the minute with WWE marks, and we've been talking a lot about how much we love WWE. We'll turn on a dime because we're wrestlers, and that's fine. But, we want to give everything for Toni. God, honestly, they should burn wrestling alive. Penultimate match to preview. Here's the thing. It's Hangman Page versus Samoa Joe. Best version of the match is great, blah, 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 blah. I thought this was a no-brainer, fail-safe, B-level pay-per-view main event that, my investment's at a 7. The match could be a 9. And nothing's at a 10, but you can't do them every week. That's where I was at. That's just the kind of, I like butter in my ass and a lollipop in my mouth. That's just the kind of guy I am. And that's just where I was at about 3 weeks ago. And then I got very worried because on Dynamite, he was as cold as ice.
It was.
Willing to sacrifice made you.
Yeah.
Like, Page is winning. The story has been told that he's going to get annihilated and quickly. It's going to get bloody. Joe's going to punch himself out and do the Mortal Kombat, get the buckshot, maybe do the Mortal Kombat. Actually, nope. And then Paige is like, I didn't reckon for that. Jump scare, Kina clutch, get to the ropes in time, and then run that sequence back, but actually Paige gets the buckshot. They could have a monster of a match here, pure great Joe theater, where it's like, all right, I'll see you again. I'm going to need you for this again next year, Joe. But people didn't give her a ass on Wednesday.
Trench City Jones, this, isn't it? Everybody has a take on this, and everybody's got
a take.
Everybody's going to use their heels.
Time's at 3 o'clock there, WrestleCulture.
Yeah.
We'll
be all right. This one doesn't take much previewing. Everyone's going to use their heels to dig them in a bit further. If you're into this, you're going to be into it on the night. If you're not into this, you're going to be pretty bored by this. I don't think there is a match. Maybe we're the good divide for this. I don't think there is a match that disappoints you, just like I don't think there's one that impresses me. Is that fair to say? This will absolutely be what it will be. and it will be for the people that like it and still believe in, like, say, Samoa Joe, or like can fool themselves into believing in Samoa Joe for one more night. Hangman Page is super consistent.
Hangman Page might do an Orihara moonsault to the outside. He's a lunatic. That Joe could nope.
Aye. Yeah, there's something in there that like will be for everybody to pop at as an experience.
Hairs on your chest. There'll be a bit of that here.
Yeah. I've got zero anticipation for this. I didn't at the beginning, and they've actually made
it worse.
Yeah, I think they've made it worse. Yeah. They have made it worse, and it wasn't for me to begin with. But the people that like Joe, there's more of them that are in the AEW base than me.
Yeah.
So I question the booking. I think it's pure garbage and insulting, if I'm being brutally honest. I really do. I think it's taking the piss. I think stop breaking the glass for Samoa Joe in cases of emergency.
We should dedicate 5 minutes to the thing that people really care about. And that is, on the subject of making things worse, however, we are talking now about Jon Moxley versus Darby Allin. Forget about the cinematic. Sit down. Bam! Not a factor. Even before that, well-received, if you can get on board with it, cinematic scene. Even before that, this was, why is Darby Allin, Dean Ambrose, PG-13 Dean Ambrose? The weapons, the stupidity, set you on fire, doesn't bother me, mate. You're going to have to try harder than that at the pay-per-view. Or how about set the building on fire? Well, you wouldn't do it. Whatever. It's silly. It's stupid. Darby Allin is, he's cool. He's too cool for school, and he's too cool for the man. He's giving people the ick. That's a direct quote from someone who replied to me on Twitter. One person's not a sample, but I can feel it in the air. This match was premised on something beautiful. You cannot get either one of these men to quit. That's the genius of an I Quit match. Mm-hmm. If you have an I Quit match, it usually involves one guy who just won't versus a guy you kind of expect to win. So it's like, oh, how does that work?
Yeah.
This is like the two people in any company where it's like, this is basically the ultimate I Quit match, and they've built it as such to the point where Moxley questioned why they were even having the match on Dynamite. My only concern, in addition to being frightened, is that this can't fail match between two wrestlers who can't say I quit for love nor money, that should, by rights, have the highest possible level of both violence and drama and doubt and fear and anxiety and terror, is that it gets too cartoonish given the weapons that they've teased. It's like, honestly, to draw further on the Ambrose comparison, it's like when Funk befriends Ambrose ahead of WrestleMania 32. It's like, why don't you use a chainsaw? And it's like, well, I might. I mean, I won't. Like, just they're going to introduce weapons, but that they can't use. But then, maybe what if they do?
Yeah,
this could be too wacky, is what I'm saying. And my other concern is that it's a good concern, violence. Two bad concerns. 1, too wacky. 3, Mox wins. This has got to end.
Yeah.
He's been beaten by Hangman. The title is saved. The guy around whom it all started with, Darby, he's beaten Mox too. Right, Death Riders, we're done here.
Yeah.
I don't want this prolonged. This should be the end point, but there ain't no end points in AEW no more.
2 spots, and one of them's the finish. Number 1, Darby Allin wears some of that Cody wax on his head, temporarily gets set on fire on his head, and then goes over to the commentary table and asks for a glass of water.
There's stuff on his hair, Jones.
Glass of water, and then takes a little drink and then tips it over his head like the Nair Helwani and it puts out the fire.
I mean, that would be badass.
Spot, and it turns out why he was being such an arsehole and Nair Helwani was a bit of foreshadowing, and we're all like, all right, we have to forgive that now because that was actually pretty cool. There's my 1 spot. My 2nd spot.
Right, copy. An even better fantasy booking idea than Wednesday. An even better one than the 140 minutes previously on the podcast.
The finish in Darby Allin showing that he has learned, and Jon Moxley's favourite way to lose. The Death Riders have been dealt with by the conglomeration, and Darby Allin, in the same way Hangman Page did with the chain, strangles Jon Moxley with the AEW Everest flag. And that's like literally AEW is around the neck of Jon Moxley, and it's made a noose for him, and he has no choice.
You should set it on fire.
Flaming AEW flag. No choice but
No, like Moxley should for heat.
Oh, right. I thought you meant
set
like
it on fire
while it's around his neck.
This is crap what it's become, and I don't care about this, which limits my investment in the entire saga.
But Moxley was so good at doing the and this time he can't even tap because the tap isn't enough.
Yeah.
It's like, and the ref's like, what do you want, mate?
Yeah, you
he's
have
like,
to say it.
quit. Like, and then he's finally quit, and that's the Death Riders have seen him looking like a pissy baby, and that's properly it.
Still for pissy, but he's on fire, mate.
It's not. He's not on fire. The flag's on fire. It's different.
Yeah, but different
fires, different needs.
You should put the flag on fire. So to go, hey, AEW, bro, and then Darby's like, don't say that about my damn.
Don't tread on my flag.
Don't tread on my AEW flag. And then it's just like I don't know. There's gonna be an AEW flag spot that might make me cringe. But just be good.
Yeah,
just be good.
It will be.
Okay, it's gonna be great. It's just no. This match is gonna be a match of the year contender. If it's the best version of itself. Dramatic, violent, scary. Just don't be too silly now, please. Let us know what you think. What match are you most looking forward to? And why is it Brodido versus Okada and Takeshita? Let us know in the comments below or on X at WhatCulture WWE. Whilst you're there, you can follow Michael Hamflett at
Michael Hamflett.
You can follow me at Sidgwick. We'll be back next week with the review of WrestleDream. And lots of great stuff, regularly scheduled content on top of that. So you must subscribe, therefore, to get daily wrestling podcasts. Thank you very much for Hamflett, for joining me. Thank you very much for watching, listening, and we will see you soon.